Greetings, weird part of YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Sugar Star Bakery produced by Lavender Industries. Today, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Instead of making delicious moist cakes, we're going to be making cookies. And these aren't just any cookies. These are some cookies that I recently spent a lot of time reverse engineering. They are Subway's raspberry cheesecake cookies. And ever since I tasted them, I knew I had to figure out how to replicate this. They're rich, delicious, buttery, and just that little hint of a bite from that raspberry. It's so good. So, let's check our recipe book and let's get started.
Here's what we'll need to make these awesome cookies. 1/2 cup of vegetable shortening, 1/2 cup of packed light brown sugar, 1/4 cup of white sugar, 1 large egg, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 cup plus 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, raspberry jelly or dessert topping, and a piping bag with a round tip. We'll also need 1 cup of white chocolate chips, 1 teaspoon of French vanilla extract, or just vanilla if that's what you have. Either works fine. And we'll also need 2 teaspoons of butter extract, just to give it that little mellow flavor at the end. Let's go ahead and preheat our oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 degrees Celsius. Okay, so we're going to start off by combining these 3 ingredients. We're going to put our 1/2 cup of vegetable shortening into the mixing bowl. Make sure you scrape it all out. The composition of the shortening is what's going to help keep these cookies moist. Next, we're going to add our 1/2 cup of brown sugar. Make sure that it's been packed into the cup. Also, our white granulated sugar. Just throw that in, and we are going to mix that until it is nice and smooth. Alright, looking good. Now, what we're going to do, we are going to take our baking soda, and we are just going to lightly whisk that in with our all-purpose flour. You don't have to whisk it in entirely well, but it's a good idea. Now, just turn your mixer down to low. And gradually add in your flour and baking soda mixture. Whoop, little mess there. It's okay. Just make sure your mixer is not turned on too high, otherwise you will have a cloud in your kitchen. And you'll have a much larger mess than the little splurt that I just made. Once it's combined a little bit, you can up the speed some. Not too much. Next, we're going to add our egg. Just drop that in there on a low speed. And now, our vanilla. I'm using French vanilla. You can use regular vanilla, your choice. We're also going to be adding our butter extract at this stage. Once everything is a little bit combined, you can up your speed to make sure everything gets combined. Finally, we are going to add our white chocolate chips. Just turn it to a low speed and pour them in. Now you want to keep it at a low speed so that it doesn't break up your chips. And just kind of let the mixture fold them in there. And look at that, look at that, look at that. That is a gorgeous cookie batter. It's all smooth, well combined. Our chips aren't broken up. This is what we're looking for. See how it doesn't exactly fall off the spoon? That's the consistency you want. Now, we're just going to scoop this out onto our baking tray. You want to make about 1-inch round balls. Doesn't have to be perfect. I love this cookie scooping tool. Really helps. But if you don't have one, you can just eyeball it. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. Alright, now as with about any cookie, you're going to want to press these down just a little bit, but not too much. Now this dough is particularly sticky, so you're going to want to grease or flour your pressing tool. I'm just using a small cup. You can use about anything. Alright, now comes the fun part. You're going to want to take your piping or Ziploc bag with a small round tip, and you're going to want to pipe your raspberry topping, glaze, jelly, whatever kind of raspberry you have, into your cookies, 4 or 5 dots, just like I'm doing here. Make sure the tip is submerged when you're piping, so it oozes out. Now we get to bake these bad boys for 9 minutes. Of course, depending on your oven, you may want to keep a close eye on them. They may come out about half a minute earlier or half a minute later than the 9-minute mark. So just watch for those edges to turn a lovely golden brown. Moment of truth. Oh, those are amazing looking. Now you're just going to want to let these cool for a couple of minutes on the cookie sheet, and then you're going to want to transfer them to a cooling rack, and then you can enjoy them. Don't those look amazing? I think my cameraman's drooling back there.
So, that's our episode on Subway's raspberry cheesecake cookies. According to my fiance behind the camera, he cannot tell the difference. So, I hope y'all try these out. Hope you learned something. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. If you'd like to see more, like, subscribe, and y'all have a blessed day.
Hey everybody, I hope you all enjoyed the video because Project Dark Fox and I had a lot of fun making it, and we certainly had a lot of fun eating those cookies. Now, we normally try to keep things very upbeat and happy on Lavender Industries because we want to try and provide a little escape from the atrocities of the real world. But this is something that I feel needs to be said, so I'm going to go ahead and warn you now. This is going to get a little sad and a little bit heavy, so if you don't want to see that, stop the video now, please. I think it's safe to say that almost every YouTuber has some sort of inspiration. I have had many to start this YouTube channel with Project Dark Fox. A lot of my inspirations were Corey Williams from Dude Like Hella, Eric Surf 6, Threadbanger. I could go on, but one of my biggest inspirations ever was Cooking with Dog. And recently, and I know this is a little bit late because it happened a couple weeks ago, but I found out recently that Francis passed away. And, you know, I had this little dream that maybe one day, you know, after we got the YouTube channel started and everything, that maybe one day, I would be able to do a collaboration with Cooking with Dog because I love that show so much. And this was actually a very hard hit for me. So, to Chef and all the crew that work with Francis, you have my condolences, my prayers, my heart, and my thoughts are going out to you. And I want to thank you for everything. I want to thank you for the inspiration and for the wonderful videos. You all and Francis have left a huge impact on my life. And I thank you so much. I apologize if I'm getting a little bit emotional right now. But, and Chef, I don't know what you've decided to do about the show, but if I may go ahead and put my 2 yen in, I mean, I hope this isn't too early to do so, but if I may go ahead and give my little thoughts on it, I think that maybe you should continue the show. I mean, I know that everybody loved Francis, but everybody loved you too. You're awesome, you're talented. There's nothing not to like about you.
And if I may say so, I think that's what Francis would want. So, I mean, I might be overstepping my bounds saying that, but I just want to say thank you so much. And I wish there was something I could do to help you, but I guess that all that I can really do now is my thoughts and my prayers. So I want you to know that you have those. So to Chef and all the crew that worked with Francis on Cooking with Dog, thank you. Thank you so much. Y'all be blessed and stay blessed.